Hello everyone, and welcome to another episode on Seed. It's Alex, also known as the Slanderous Gent, and today we're going to be talking about Ying and Smoke. So first off is Ying. She has the Candela gadget, which is a cluster of flashes. Most Siege players will know what this does. It can be rolled as like a grenade, through drone holes, into rooms, and that detonates into 6 different flash charges that go off. It can also be anchored on walls like a fuse charge, and popped through a window or a soft wall, or through roofs if you're communicating with your team. So Ying is quite an interesting operator in that she has an LMG that's not amazing, but also not bad at all. So the T95 LSW is, I generally like to think of it more as a hybrid between an assault rifle and an LMG, in that it doesn't pack the punch of something like Finker's LMG, nor does it have the fire rate of something like Ash's R4C or Hibana's Type 89. But this thing can lay down some serious covering fire if you need it to. It can be used with, I prefer ACOG, but I've seen people run hollow on it with great success as well. It's generally quite a versatile gun, and you can use the 80 round drum mag is incredible. This thing is just, due to it having a magazine rather than something like Capital's MP249, which has a box, it's similar to Gridlock in that it's got an incredibly quick reload speed on this thing, so you can use it for really good cover and fire, and you can pre-fire people or just push people away with it. I've just seen a few clips here. She also has access to 612. I'm not a big fan of the 612 on Legion or Ying for that matter. Nook, I'm experimenting a little bit, but even then she's got the FMG9 as well. So Ying is the only person who actually wields the unsuppressed version, whereas Nook and Legion both wield the SD version of this, which is integrally suppressed. So this is a revolver shotgun. It's got 6 rounds, which is, in my opinion, probably the worst aspect of it, easily. Just you don't have enough shells. It's semi-automatic, so you just run through shells, whereas something like Ella's shotgun, where you've got nearly twice as many rounds to pump into somebody, you need to be hitting your shots with this thing. So unless you're incredibly good with rushing with a shotgun, I would not recommend it. I'd definitely recommend going for the T95, just because this thing, you can still rush with it. You can slap a hollow or a red dot or reflex, whatever your preference is on it, and still rush. A Q929 even is a high stopping power. It's deceivingly good for a pistol, just a bog standard looking pistol. It packs 60 damage, so it's got quite a high stopping power behind that, and you can do some damage with this thing. Then she gets choice of breach charges or claymores. Now, one of the things I wanted to discuss, when Ying was first put into the game, she had smokes and a claymore. Now, most people used to run smokes due to the change to Ying's candelas in, I believe it was Burnt Horizon or Wind Bastion. They made it so that Ying now has to cook her candelas for the fuse to be shorter, whereas it used to be inverted, where you throw it out and it'd immediately detonate, or you could cook it to lengthen the fuse. Now it works more like a traditional grenade in that you cook it to make the fuse shorter. So that's made Ying a lot more, I'd say, difficult to use, in that you can't just smoke a room off and then flash. But now also you have to use Ying in a much more patient sense. She's been taken away from that like rushing style of operator. She's now much more about going for a steady push and just pushing people back. She's great for flank watch with those claymores, or for breaching rooms from above with the breach charges. So you can use it similar to how you'd fuse a room. If you've got a great team, and you've got somebody who knows how to use Ying, you can open up the floor above and have your team push into the room, and then you can flash from above, making it so that the entire enemy team is blinded. This is obviously a situation that you're not going to run into often unless you've got an incredibly coordinated team, but there are certain strategies that you can use. But you can also use Ying quite well in her own sense, in that you can roll candelas through drone holes, as I say. She's also 2 speed, and that's ideally, I think 2 speed is probably some of the best operators in the game you got, because you get the great balance of not being super easy to kill if you land bullets on you like a 3 speed, but you're also not lacking in any momentum like a 3 armor. Now, one of the cons with Ying is that her candelas can be so inconsistent. I believe there's like I was playing earlier on, and I rolled a candela into a room. It flashed the centre of the room. It was kitchen on Clubhouse, and Vigil was sat like 3 meters away. It must have been 3 meters or less away from the candela that was going off. He just turned to look in the corner of the wall as you would with a flashbang, and he wasn't flashed. I really think that flashers in general need to have it so that if you're in close enough proximity, I'm not sure if this is the case still, or whether they are still bugged. I know they were talking about reworking flashers and Ying, but they're just so inconsistent at the minute, so do be careful if you are going to decide to play Ying. If you can get good with her, then she's a great support op. She's made for that supportive fragging role, similar to Gridlock. She's not made as your main entry fragger like Ash or Sledge or Buck. She's much more about just getting frags where she can and pushing. Now onto our second operator, which is Smoke. Now Smoke is an operator who I've been a lot more familiar with. I've been using him a hell of a lot recently. Like, I've been using him right through Burnt Horizon, right up until now, trying to learn him, and I think he's probably one of now, especially now that Bomb is the only game mode in ranked. I think Smoke is just, his value has just gone through the roof for ranked, especially. He's excellent for denying pushes and plants, in that you can smoke off a default plant spot if you know that plant's going down, and do a lot of damage to people. Now Smoke is the only operator in the game that does not take damage from his smokes at all. Like, he can walk through his gas without even an issue, whereas even defenders, nobody else in the game can walk through his smoke grenades without taking damage, whether that be friendly or enemy. So Smoke gets access to the N590A1, the Mossberg, as I like to call it, as I believe it's based off the Mossberg. It's a 12 gauge pump action. It's used by all the SS operators. It's probably the best shotgun in the game. Even though it's pump action, it's not semi-automatic, it's just still a great shotgun in that it has that 48 damage. That's 48 damage per pellet, mind you. That's a thing that confuses a lot of people about shotguns. That's not 48 damage per shot, that's just per pellet, so this thing can just shred through people at close range. It does also get the FMG9, which I think a lot of people have slept on, right up until the beginning of Phantom Sight, when people started using it on Nook, and now I think people are a lot more appreciative that this thing can actually do some work if you need it to. Generally, though, you're going to be running the Mossberg on Smoke just due to the fact that he's essentially going to be you're going to be using him as a soft anchor. He's at 2 speed. You're going to be using him as that anchor roll, rotating around sight. You're going to be using this thing to make rotations, and then you're going to be using this thing right here as your primary, the SMG-11. Now, this gun took a huge nerf at the beginning of Grimsky when all the machine pistol sets, the Bearing 9, SMG-11 and SMG-12, took a huge recoil nerf, making them much, much harder to control. Now, previously, this gun was deadlier than some primary gun weapons. It's incredible. But I generally run it with a flash hider, as you can see in the bottom right corner. This thing has some decent recoil if you can know how to burst your shots. Now, I was making the mistake of just letting the recoil carry it, so aim for the chest and let it carry up. Not necessarily. If it's got such a fast fire rate that you can aim for the head, and if you just tap the trigger or tap your mouse button, you can, if you've got the head in your sights, it'll just be gone. That's somebody's head completely gone. So if you can hold a tight angle and let somebody peek you and then just buzz at them with this thing, their head's gone and they'll be dead before you know it. If you've got good enough reaction times, this thing will take their head clean off. Now I run it with a vertical grip because it's the only one you get hold of. Again, holographic sight, it's my preferred sight, and the flash hider. Now, I used to run it with a compensator. I do see some people run it with the extended barrel. Personally, I like the flash hider just because it makes that burst fire so much easier to control. It's in the name. Well, it's not in the name, it's in the description. It hides the muzzle flash and it reduces small burst recoil. Small burst is what this gun is all about nowadays. After the recoil nerf, you can't just go full automatic, and with only a 16 round mag and a 1270 fire rate, you can burn through the magazine in literally a couple of seconds. This thing is, do not go on full auto unless you're really in dire straits. Mostly you're going to be using this thing to hold tight angles, but never ever put yourself at risk with Smoke. Now you get choice of barbed wire or impacts. I personally run barbed wire because you've got this for making holes, but if you're wanting to learn Smoke and want to learn his gadget a bit more, you could definitely run him with the FMG9, I'm sure. I run him with the FMG9 sometimes just because of the fact that if I see some of my teammates have a shotgun or impacts, and we know we're going to be opening up rotations, you can use this thing in more long-range objectives where the SMG-11 might not be the best thing for taking peeking angles, or you might be up against a really aggressive, well, I wouldn't say a really aggressive team, a team that's taking a lot of long-range fights. So if they're using a Glaz, even then you don't want to be peeking a Glaz, but, you know, so this thing does have its uses. But generally you're going to be going Mossberg, SMG, barbed wire, because barbed wire is, it's great, even though it does absolutely need a buff soon. This thing, it can still slow down a push and can alert you to attackers pushing and make it so you can smoke off where the attackers are pushing from. So Smoke's gadget is the gas grenade, as mentioned before. It does damage to everyone except Smoke, and you're going to be using that to stop pushes. You can use it to cut off lines of sight, but you're going to be using that to stop pushes, plants, and maybe making it safe to rotate from time to time. Now, with Smoke, his value does go up the later you get into a round. From the second the action phase starts to the last second, that last second is when Smoke is most valuable, when the plant has to go down and you can smoke them and just do damage to them and possibly kill them. If they're already wounded, the smoke grenades will kill them if they're wounded enough. I have killed quite a few people with smoke grenades, but that's not the point. You need to be using those sparingly. You've only got 3. They last for 10 seconds each, and they need to be used during that plan, or more than anything, that is the moment you need to be using those, really, over anything else. So I definitely wouldn't take gunfights aggressive with Smoke. Hold angles if you can. If you can get a good pick, fall off the angle. Don't risk it. The teammate might be communicating to them, or a teammate might be nearby the attackers, who can then peek the same angle and possibly pre-fire you and kill you. Don't take fights aggressively with Smoke. Use him sparingly, use him patiently. Patience is the rule of thumb with Smoke. It took me a long time to get into the mind of being more... it took me a long time to get into the mindset of playing Smoke. It's patience all the time. You can't be... You're not a roamer. You're not a doc either. You're not going to be peeking long angles with an ACOG. You don't have an ACOG. You don't have the amazing, you don't have an incredible rifle or SMG like Jaeger and Bandit do. You can't be roaming with Smoke. You need to be just playing it patiently and waiting for them to come to you, and then pushing back with them smokes. So you're all about, denial is the name of the game, and patience is the rule of thumb. So I do hope you enjoy the clips, and I hope you've enjoyed today's discussion, and I hope to see you in the next one. Thank you very much. Enjoy the clips. Hello everyone, this is the Slanderous Gen in a bit of post-recording here. I've noticed that I actually didn't capture many excellent clips with Smoke. I actually captured a couple of clips with Mozzie, so most of the video I'm going to be playing Ying, but there are a couple of Mozzie clips thrown in here as a little bonus for yourselves. And if you stick around to the end of the video, there's a little bit of banter and gameplay between myself and my very good friend and collaborator Barber B Gaming, so I do hope you enjoy that. Apologies for the disclaimer, and apologies for misleading you slightly with the Smoke. Thank you very much. Hope to see you in the next one, and I will be coming back at you with another Smoke video in the future. Cheers.
Location and defuse it.
Activating drone.
Activating drone. Bomb has been located.
Throwing flashbang. See you around.
And then there was light. Reloading. Flash incoming.
Taking point. Don't follow.
Op 4 last operator.
Get clear!
Op 4 eliminated. Bomb.
Setting charge. Breach. Put your shades on.
Bomb has been located. Op 4 last stop standing.
Tossing EMP grenade.
Op 4 eliminated. Friendly mission successful.
Device primed to keep an eye on those. Evil eye. Doorway found. Stay clear of blast zone. Tracing my evil eye.
More set!
Reload. Ceasefire! Ceasefire!
Op 4 last stop standing. Op 4 eliminated. Mission successful.
Put your shades on.
team. Kobe.
Op 4 eliminated. Friendly
Kobe.
mission successful.
Just a little prick. Loading new mag.
The beauties are in place.
C4 ready.
Is ready.
One Op 4 remaining. Op 4 eliminated. Mission successful.
Reloading. Breach up.
Throwing stun. Adrenaline surge incoming.
Put your shades on.
Frag grenade out.
Last operator standing. Bomb diffusion initiated. Protect the diffuser. Op 4 eliminated. Friendly mission successful.
Cover me, reloading.
C4 set. Got their position. Frag out.
Op 4, last operator standing.
Loading new magazine!
Friendly's victorious. Hostiles eliminated.
Enemy spotted. First floor.
Claymore in position.
Enemy located. Second floor. Located. Reload!
Flash incoming. Up.
Op 4 neutralized. Mission successful.
Reloading! Setting sail.
4 remaining. Op 4 eliminated. Mission successful. 4 neutralized. Mission successful.
Drone ready.
Claymore set.
Why don't?
Time to move forward.
Last operator standing. User is active. Protected at all times. Op 4 neutralized. Mission successful.
Setting barbed wire. Welcome, Matt. Deploying barbed wire.
Plans engaged.
Be advised, Op 4 has located a bomb.
Loading new magazine!
Reload. Administering aid. Friendly down.
You have been exposed. You are being tracked. You are being hunted down.
C4 set.
Someone exposed you.
Detonating.
Someone is tracking you. Someone is tracking you down. 1 Op 4 remaining.
Glance activated.
down to 15 seconds. 10 seconds to go. 5 seconds remaining. Op 4 eliminated. Mission successful.
From Uzbekistan.
Who's your mum?
He's from Uzbekistan.
Oh. Hello, Mrs. Stan. It's Uzbeki. Uzbekistan.
Uzbekistan.
What's your name? Uz.
No, no.
Uzbekistan. Uz. I'm Bekistan. And he got confused to be Uzbekistan.
I'm gonna do this Russia Day challenge. I'm sick of it showing up.
I've got it. I've done it.
Have you done it? My God.
Yep. Yep.
Sound. Sound all explosives all the time. Who can?
Colonel can.
Oh yeah, I think my trophies were glitched on this game because I've kept getting trophies for this game for some reason. I've just got accessorizing.
What?
So the trophies on this game were glitched for me. So I'd only just
Okay.
got the one where you finished 5 ranked matches. And I've just got
No,
one
you've
for...
always had that one.
No, I haven't. I've just got it again.
We need to protect the biohazard container. Secure the
Okay.
room.
Don't ask me how. It just did.
Oh, I should have gone castle on this map.
You're right. You'll know for next time.
New camera feed up and running.
No, in fact, there's too many. It stressed me out. Castle needs about 8 of his things for this map. Fuck that. There's too many places that can come in.
Oh, that's
I
brilliant.
don't give a shit that much. Yeah, everyone can die. Is it just secure this?
Ambush set.
Yeah.
Stay clear.
10 seconds remaining.
God, I'm not used to playing it. I played that much fucking
Bomb. In it.
Down to 5 seconds.
I'm like,
need
right,
a wall?
where's the bomb? What we protecting? Yeah, I've got one.
I've got one too.
Has found the biohazard container. They will attempt to locate it during the assault.
Oh my
Got it.
God.
Out. Stay clear of that blast zone. Swapping mags.
Time to be a shot. Kind of easy.
Nugs.
Oh dear.
Stay clear of blast zone.
Oh, they're on the same team.
Yeah, I know. Oh yeah, I've not
What, man?
impacts.
Alright.
Oh, he left.
Oh my god.
Oh. Nugget me chocolate. Oh my God, Finker's on me with this shotgun. She just sausage rushed. Is she dead? There's another one. Monty, on ping.
Op 4 found the biohazard container.
Monty and Blackbeard, both on pings.
I know, I just saw him.
Yeah, that's one dead. Last one's Monty on ping. I was not expecting that.
Alright.
Friendly's victorious.
Thank you, Mum, that'd be lovely. I'll come make it in a bit. Love you.
I don't know what happened there. I was just the Finker just like basically just forced away and just like I'm coming through now. Oh, they're trying to fool.
Good work. The biohazard container has been
They're running the opposite way to site, so I think we just force it.
They're trying to
force us
fools
away.
rush, aren't they?
Yeah,
trying to
I think
fool
we
rush.
I think we just
I'm
force
on,
us way
I've
onto
got a
site.
camera on site.
I know. We just force our way onto site now.
Oh, it's last
Alibi.
one was
biohazard
there.
container location.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna force my way onto site. Sound.
Same. I'm just gonna thermite it up. They haven't reinforced, have they?
Nope. Because it's just busy spawn peeking.
Only an alibi. Maybe it's not.
That's Warden dead. Oh, they've opened up all the wall. Oh, there's an alibi just sat in the middle of the wall. one dead. There you. Alibi's back. Yeah. Yeah, I wouldn't peek that again, man.
Flashback.
Secure the container.
She's in. One's on your left, outside on your left.
Nicely done.
Mate,
Bio container secure.
you're secured.
I know.
What on earth is going
I've
on?
shot a black screen.
Oh, on my screen it's Nook securing.
Ah.
What on?
Did you watch me just
Yeah.
kill Valkyrie?
Yeah, nice. What is this match?
They shit that enemy team.
They're just doing some daft strat roulette stuff.
Oh, that's what they're doing.
Yeah, because that warden was just sat in the middle of a window just shooting at Nook, and then I just thought, right, you're dead. And just shot him.
Go on, let's go Christmas tree.
Beg your pardon? Oh, I see. What did I play last time? Fuck it, Capkin again.
What?
Napkin.
Cap the Shan.
We need to protect the biohazard container. Secure the
Right, cool, they're probably going to rush again, so I'm probably just gonna-
Yeah, and I've got the best. I wrote this.
Now, stay clear of blast zone.
You played Chonka?
No.
Oh, Legion. No, Frost. I haven't got a fucking Legion, oh my god.
I brought a
I'm having
bulletproof camp outside site.
I'm
When
having
they
a
pop the
stroke.
other one.
I think that's Twitch run, right on me. Bye, Twitch run. No destroying Capkin traps for you.
Op 4 located the biohazard container. 5 seconds and counting.
That guy was going to blow all my Capkin traps up.
Op 4 drone has located the biohazard container.
Device prime. Eye on door.
Oh dear, what did I tell you? They were going to kill that dude.
He did actually.
Welcome net deployed.
Fucking called it. They're coming.
You are being hunted
I'm in
down.
tracked. One's hit. Oh, Ninja from an entry denial. That's brilliant. One's Jackal. One's hit.
Your identity has been compromised. You have been identified.
I've actually injured one with a Capkin trap. That's hilarious.
Really?
Yep. Oh dear. He just. Nope, dead. He just team killed his teammate with a breach charge because the guy sat on it. Another one dead.
Friendly
I thought I'd killed him then. Because I killed one and then... How did he just thread that?